Um, my next topic on my list is my brother Yeshua. Hmm. So, what I remember about Yeshua is that he was I wouldn't even call it quiet person because he's not. He's very much, um, I mean, just the normal, friendly, talkative person. However, he had those moments where he would keep to himself, and those were a lot, They were not like every once in a while. No, it was almost like every other day you would find him in a not in a bad mood, more like you could sense that he was kind of like um, had something heavy, like he was a heavy energy as well, like it was heavy. It was like as if like he's carrying something heavy. Um, he still managed to come up, and cheer up whenever I would go and talk to him. And I always felt like I needed to do that in order for me to help him kind of like get out of his funk. He used to spend more time with us at home, um, because I guess the and he used to spend a lot of time near the pool, you know, the cleansing pool. That's where he would spend most of his time, and I knew every time to go and find him there. So I never really understood exactly why he was like that, and I never really asked him, but I always saw him as that kind of character at home. Never really questioned much about it until I grew up a little, and there was a time when he seemed even more heavier, right? And I was like, it was closer to me coming for my mission. I remember that. It was like I was about to come for my mission. I was preparing a lot of things, and um, he was heavier. And I remember asking Father, "What's wrong with brother? I mean, why does he always sit there and be like that? What's it he feels I even said it. I said he feels heavy." Father said, "You'll learn about why he's like this when you go to heaven, to earth, I mean. But don't worry," because I knew that it had something to do with earth, and then I was like sad a little bit, but then Father said to me, "Don't worry, you're gonna be able to release him from this burden." And I didn't ask much about it after that because I had learned by then not to dig deeper, and that most of the stuff that I have questions about, I'm gonna learn when I get here. It's part of my spiritual journey, spiritual karmic lessons. So um I guess I learned when I got here why he is that way. I understood that because of the lies that have been told about him dying for humanity has essentially trapped his energy in this physical world. and it gets heavy on him to carry all that burden that is exchanged as a result of humans or people using his name and his energy in a way as to cleanse their own uh, or cleanse or explain away their own low vibrational behaviors, their own burdens. It's like they use him and his energy to do this massive energy transfer on a, I guess it would be mostly Christians who are using that kind of a method, but not necessarily just them, even those who are not necessarily Christians but believe in the death of him as a way to, I guess, use it as an excuse to say, oh, he died for our sins. That big lie that has been told about my brother has essentially burdened him. He's essentially carrying the load of all the burdens by people on earth who believe and use and continue to use his name in that way by saying that he is carrying or he has died for their burdens, essentially, their issues, their bullshit. So similarly, the same thing is happening to Lucifer through that big lie of him being the devil, which is not true, him being the fallen angel, which is not true. The devil himself, that is Uncle Devil, is the real devil, and he's the one who is a fallen angel. But getting back to Yeshua, I had to, as I come through here for this mission to become the light of this world, he has walked this path before me, and I understand my great grandmother. So I'm essentially walking in his path as well, similar path as a light. My spirit is essentially, or our spirit is essentially learning the karmic lessons, mistakes of the past, as well as other lessons that we probably missed when we came here, or when he came here, or when my great grandmother came here, or when whoever it is that came here in the same spirit of defragmentation. So, by learning my spirit, the spirit of defragmentation, the spirit of the previous defragmentation, that is my ancestors, that is my great grandmother and my brother Yeshua. By learning their shortcomings in certain things, their uh, the environment's influence in their program, Father managed to carve a path for me to be able to learn those karmic lessons and be able to go through and get past those karmic lessons. And as a result, I am not just learning for myself, but I'm also learning from my ancestors, all the programs that existed in my kind of program, even if it's upgraded before me, they are also getting back. Um, they are learning their lessons, their karmic lesson, and as a result, they are essentially getting back the energy that they lost or the energy that was tied back into this world. So, there are a couple of things that I had to learn. I had to learn to choose myself. I had to learn all the lessons that the previous programs, that is, my ancestors, have learned. Um, I had to um, understand my upgrade, as in, like, what is the difference between me and my ancestors? I am the same kind of spirit, however, I'm an upgraded version. And where is that upgrade? Basically, to be able to know, oh, okay, this is where my karmic lesson of learning that I'm actually just defragmentation. I'm not fragmentation and defragmentation. I am just defragmentation. And how I do that is for me to understand, basically, or essentially, for a program to know now you've been upgraded as a program from this level to a newer version which does it in a different way. So I had to learn what upgrade I come in. So part of what Yeshua was that he was a two set of kind of a program where he would run a fragmentation first and then he would run a defragmentation after. So this is where he got stuck with the fragmentation in a way where the old fragmentation method, which used to be here before defragmentation happened or before Father programmed a defragmentation function, that fragmentation function kind of like took over the system after it was being switched off. It refused to give up the power. Uh, so what it did was it went on to the system and started fragmenting the system in any case, even though it was switched off. So it's meaning that it continued to use up power in order for it to stay alive. And it refused to be upgraded by Yeshua because that's what he was coming with. However, because he was coming with a similar, part of him was still similar in a way to the fragmentation that needed to be to be uninstalled. This is where he got, I'm understanding this is where they were able to attach in a way, or not attach, but kind of like destiny swap with him. Destiny swap with him with just that part. And when they did that, they destiny swapped with the fragmentation part and hid behind defragmentation. So they sort of like kind of like, because this functionality is actually an embedded functionality. So what they are essentially doing is they hid behind the 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 fragmentation portion, hid behind the defragmentation. However, this fragmentation process had been kind of like overtaken by the old of fragmentation, which wasn't good, which was a very karmic tool, a very karmic program. So even though Jesus, or Yeshua, as you call, Yeshua, you call him Jesus, even though he was doing a defragmentation portion, they kept, that is, the fragmentation function kept running in a karmic way. And it sort of like continued to run and hide itself as if like it's the true defragmentation, the that it is no longer karmic because of Yeshua came with a functionality that sort of like was supposed to, after fragmentation fragments the environment, the defragmentation was supposed to come back and defragment the environment. That is, fragmentation will break the block up, and then defragmentation will come and build that block up into its original solid state. However, because of he had that functionality that the old karmic tool had, even though he wasn't karmic, the old karmic tool sort of like kind of pretended, destiny swapped with him and pretended to be him. And this is why they did what? This is why they essentially um, um, crucified him. But then when they crucified him, they continued to run a fragmentation for portion only. Because of the defragmentation, and fragmentation came with Yeshua who died. They ran, that is the devil, and Uncle Oldman, the devil, and my imposter goddess sister. They continue to run fragmentation as if like the old fragmentation that came with Yeshua is still the one that is running when it wasn't. So Yeshua is not the one who's been running in this environment. It's the destiny swap that they did, making it seem like the fragmentation is still running when they know very well that they have what? They have killed him, right? So what they did was continue to run their karmic fragmentation portion as if like, oh no, you know Jesus came and he died for your sins. So you can continue as you were and then do as much as you can and know that he has died for your sins. But all along, it wasn't a defragmentation program running. It was a fragmentation only running. Because, I mean, how do you explain defragmentation running when the person who came here to run that defragmentation is God? How do you explain that program running when that program is gone, is dead? How do you explain that? So what is running? What has been running? If defragmentation died, if defragmentation left and went to heaven, which he did, right? After being crucified, he left. What has been running in this environment then? It can't be defragmentation. It may be labeled as a defragmentation, but it's not defragmentation. It's not Yeshua's consciousness that is running. It's a fragmentation method that has been there, the karmic fragmentation method that has been there. And this is why this environment has been as low vibrational as it is, because you don't realize that this fragmentation is fragmenting and fragmenting on fragmented. It's almost like when you're a block and you're blown up, right? That is they just blow you up as a block. And then they keep doing that every day. You end up losing, as you lose energy, you end up having, instead of just couple of bits and pieces of a block, you now have like you're basically becoming sand. You're going back to becoming small particles of something that we cannot even identify what this block used to be. Now I have to come in as defragmentation, the new version of defragmentation, and try to build back this environment up. But what they do is you would blow up and then you will try to build yourself back up, but then you will only figure it up until a point and you don't do a good job. But then what you do is, just so you can keep running, you go and take someone else's fragmented pieces and add it up to yourself, sometimes without necessarily trying to steal, but you feel like this environment is such that it allows you to take and not necessarily pay any repercussions for that. So you take whatever is not yours, you patch yourself up, and you move forward thinking that you'll be okay. Now, when I come in as defragmentation, I'm not fragmentation and defragmentation. I am an upgraded version of Yeshua and my grandmother, my great grandmother. I am just defragmentation. I managed to do that because I'm faster. my defragmentation process, you cannot tell when I'm fragmenting you and when I'm defragmenting you. That's how fast my program is. Before, the previous versions of fragmentation used to fragment process running, and once it's running, and defragmentation will come. And what they used to do as well, if you remember, if you know about defragmentation and fragmentation in the system today, what you can tell is once you fragment your PC, for instance, and you don't defragment it immediately, that defragmentation, you basically blew up everything and you let the light release. That is the energy release. And if you leave it and say, oh no, I'll run defragmentation tomorrow, because of you left those blocks open and in pieces scattered like that, it just keeps releasing and releasing and releasing energy. Now tomorrow when you come in and you switch on the PC, that defragmentation also that you did, I mean the fragmentation that you did yesterday is still there, still releasing energy. By the time you try to fragment it or defragment it, if you do remember, it's so fine, it's fine, it's a good thing. You remember it and you fragment it. But the energy that has been lost throughout the night and day and whatever that you forgot about it is a lot. And that's what they have been doing, but not necessarily by defragmenting you back. They have been just leaving you fragmented. This is why a lot of us, or a lot of these people in this environment, or a lot of programs in this environment are fragmented. This is why it's so okay for you to be low vibrational. You don't feel anything. You don't feel strife with being low vibrational because of you have been so fragmented that some pieces of you which were critical in making you understand the impact and the spiritual impact and the spiritual um, conscious, having a conscious of what you're doing is not right, is also scattered somewhere there. So that's what they've been doing. It's not Yeshua's conscious, but they're using and riding on Yeshua's consciousness, right? They're marketing themselves as Yeshua's consciousness, but they're not. Because Yeshua died. He never ran in this environment to the degree that he needed to run because of they stopped him. But you have to ask yourself then, what has been running since Yeshua died? What has been running, I'll tell you what has been running. What has been running is blabbermouths talking bullshit about my brother, saying things like he died for their fucking sins. That's what's been running. That fucking mouth of yours that has been running bullshit, just repeating and parroting shit without fucking applying your mind and asking questions and just absorbing and taking it like it is. I did. I asked Father. I was like, why the heck do I have to even pray for to brother first? Father's like, no, not you. I questioned everything. And this is why I was never really accepted or liked, because of I don't just take shit as shit. I don't just do that. I know that maybe you are used to it, but some of us are not used to just fucking swallowing bullshit. You can see it. I'm telling you now that deep down within yourself, you knew that shit was fucking wrong, but you still continue to do it. You knew. You all knew, especially for fucking Christians, you all fucking knew. You felt it deep down inside. You knew when you watched that fucking cross or fucking Jesus kind of thingy that you put there as a cross, that should that thing even be hanging in there like that? Am I okay seeing some picture of someone else being hanging and bleeding like that? How can you be so fucking... I tell you, demons are probably just laughing. They're like, we are demons, but these ones, demon programs, are shaking their heads. Y'all motherfuckers calling yourselves light people are fucking dark. And you need to accept that part about yourself. And not only that, but you are beyond demonic. You're evil. I'm going to call it as it is. It's evil. It's evil of you to accept someone dying for you. I mean, how can you be okay with that? How can you wake up every morning thinking he died for our sins and you be so happy? I remember when they said this shit to me. I didn't even remember at the time who they were referring to when they said Jesus. I didn't know, right? And but some people used to be like Yeshua, and even that was changed. At some stage, people used to. There was a time when it was Yeshua, and then they changed it into Jesus. Like Jesus just became the prominent name. Even I adopted it, to be honest. But what I remember is that I used to question a lot of things. I used to question, especially when it comes to religion. I got called, and I'm sure my uncle used to love the idea. I got called evil. I got called the child of the devil every now and then. I think about 6 times in my lifetime. As a child, I've been called like that by friends that you are evil. I've been called by these people who start going to church at some stage in their life when they're growing up, right? They start, what is this? These new age churches, this I'm saved kind of churches. Yeah, those churches. Because I would question some of the bullshit that they were telling me or things that they were trying to tell me about how this and that about their religion, or is it their church or their whatever it is. And I would question shit. I used to question shit, you know. And I had to learn to keep my mouth shut at the, what do you call this? I was told actually by a sister that I wasn't supposed to be asking questions in that kind of an environment. What do you call this? Sunday schools or something like that. Because I was like, ask questions, always raising my head. But no, you're not supposed to be asking questions. You're supposed to be reading and reciting that shit. That fucking parroting method again. Yeah, that one. That's what I'm talking about. That bullshit that people never asked. You're supposed to just fucking lap it up just because of some woman is wearing some black and white shit, calling herself a fucking sister, and being like, oh, you should be praying, you should not be asking too many questions. Just read, just recite it. That's what she said. I never liked her. I just thought, to be honest, I wasn't the only one. Even I am sure the priest was like this one. Nobody liked her. And she knows who she is. Oh, she died anyway. But yeah, you know who you are. Anyway, that's the bullshit that I'm talking about. She's fine wherever she is. Oh, okay, she's not. Oh my goodness. And I remember Father saying, no, she's going to end up in hell. They're saying she's listening. And I remember I was going to talk about someone on earth. I had a vision. I was going to talk about someone on earth, and then she would be in hell, and she would raise her head, listen and hear me, and then she would go back and being, I'm defragmenting her, I guess. I think Father said she that's when she's going to start work dealing with her shit. Yeah, she knows herself. That's the problem. A bloody fucking sister ended up in fucking hell for that shit. So you should ask yourself, you are fucking reading that fucking Bible of yours and parroting this bullshit if you that's where you want to end up, right? Because you are all acting like hell is the worst shit, right? You don't know what hell is. You don't know what hell is, and all these things that they've been saying to you about hell, it's not true. There's worse places than hell, which is purgatory, and that's essentially what you were trying to put my brother. If he hadn't had that much of energy he would be there as well, because of he would be tied to your blabber mouths bullshit that you guys are parroting without really asking yourself if it's okay. Imagine you, would you do the same thing? Would you go? I want to ask all these fucking people who preach this shit, who think it's okay to say someone died for them, if they would do the same thing. And if they wouldn't do the same thing, why do they think it's okay for somebody else to have to die for them? That's what I want to ask. Who the heck do you think you are? Who the heck do you think you are? How do you even think that you could be that kind of a being to have to be died for? You don't even know who you are. All you know is to make it like, how they pretend or behave like they are above everybody else. That bullshit right there. Y'all motherfuckers are going to be paying for that shit. Y'all motherfuckers are going to be paying all that karmic debt. All that debt, all that blabbering of my brother's energy and all of that shit that you've been saying is going to be returned to him. And you're going to fucking learn your lesson to fucking use your fucking mind and your fucking brain and think. I'm not taking that crap. I am not going to fucking applaud you and fucking applaud this fucking mediocrity of this fucking world just because you guys are used to this shit. I expect better. I expect beings to fucking better themselves. You must be better. You didn't come here to do this bullshit. Y'all are fucking sitting on your fucking asses and doing bullshit instead of fucking working on your spirituality. That's what you came here for. Not to fucking expect somebody else to fucking pay for your bloody sins, so-called sins. You're going to pay for that energy. Y'all are paying for that energy. You're going to pay for that energy. You're going to find out what real spirituality is. You're going to find out. You're going to wake up to it. You have no fucking choice. This is not a fucking negotiation here. We're not negotiating with you. We're not trying to fucking convince you. We're telling you, if you're going to do it, it's up to you still. Nobody's going to drag you. Nobody's going to force you. Nobody's going to try to convince you. Nobody's going to negotiate with you. But, no fucking buts. You're going to learn the lesson of what it means for you to lie about someone, whether you knew it or not. You had the responsibility in that fucking cart that you're driving there, that your spirit is driving there on the spiritual timeline track. Alone, no one else is in there cart with you. You are responsible for what happens in that cart that you're driving. So if you went and took everything else outside of that cart, it's your fucking problem. It's your fucking fault. You need to fix that shit. You need to fix that shit. You need to fix yourself. And stop talking rubbish. And start fucking applying your mind. It's laziness, to be honest. You are not so bad. You're not so that you're not so bad. You are bad. I'm not saying you're not bad. I'm just saying you're lazy. You were lazy to think. You were lazy to use your fucking brains. You forgot that you were powerful programs that came here to do some powerful shit. And what you did was, it wasn't easy. It was nice to just be a powerful program and be lazy about it and talk shit, right? And never apply yourself. I know for a fact that you felt that lie. You knew it was a lie. You knew it was a lie, but because of you didn't want to be appearing as someone who's going against the grain, what did you do? You chicken the fuck out and you continued to parrot the same lie, and you want what? Fucking respect. Not from me. You can get it from your friends. I don't have respect for any of these kind of people. I am sorry. I'm not even going to try and be like, I don't have. respect for the fucking priesthoods, for the fucking gurus, for the fucking assholes who are busy parroting shit. Because some of them, they fucking know. They know the truth. But what? They are chicken shit, they're going to hide. They're going to hide behind all this. It was okay at first, wasn't it? It was, wasn't it? You were okay with it because you never thought fucking Destiny will fucking wake up one day. Oh no, they have her under control, right? They never thought I would wake up. They never thought Father would wake me up or manage to wake me up. They never thought I would start running. So they were okay with lying and keeping with the status quo because they thought they never, even if God sees them, because they knew. You knew God is seeing everything, but you still kept doing it. Why? Because He's never going to find earth, right? He's never going to do anything about it. No one is ever going to wake up to the shit. And no one is going to say something. I'm saying fucking everything about it. Oh, they'll kill you. So they know where I am. They know how to find me. I'm in their fucking cells. I'm in their fucking prison. They know where I am. If they want to kill me, they've tried so many times, Shem. And I don't give a fuck. They can kill me. And they can kill me if they want to. But I'm not going out alone. Not this time. No. No fucking way I'm going out of here alone. Try that shit, motherfuckers. And they know. I'm not going to be afraid to call on who I need to call on. I'm not. I've already asked myself. I've already asked. And the devil knows who I'm talking about. I've already asked. And I said, put them on standby. I have no problem fucking this fucking world up. Giving you a fucking finger and fucking destroying this whole shit and letting it be. I have no problem. What's the point of keeping this shit? I have no problem. I'm not Yeshua. I am not my grandmother. I'll take myself out and you as well if you're going to do this bullshit. I don't have time for this crap. You try that Yeshua shit. They tried it. They did it. They're still doing it. But try it. My mother said to me, Destiny, you must remember, anytime you feel like you're cornered and you have no escape, don't forget to call your father's warriors. And I was like, okay, I will. And he's like, Destiny, remember, don't forget. My mother wasn't taking any more of this crap. She gave me the order. She said to me, you will call them. Don't forget that. Anytime they put you in some situation, anytime you feel threatened, you call them. And I'm not going to play. There was a time when I called them actually, but then I realized it's not time yet. I said to further put them on standby. They must be on standby. I don't have a problem. I already called them once. I will call them again. Father was like, I said to Father, just put them on standby. I want to see what's going to happen with this bullshit. He was like, no, don't worry. There's not going to be any issues. And I was like, just put them on standby. And I don't think people understand this, that as much as this world is still worth something, right? It's still worth something, but it's not worth everything. Okay? It's not worth everything. It's worth something. There's a lot of beings here that can be saved and retrieved when it's necessary to do so. But it's not worth everything if we have to just like that. Even myself, I don't have a problem. You know what happens when they have fucked you over so far that you got nothing to lose, né? And you understand that anyway we all die and then you get recycled and then you get to where you need to be, right? You're okay, you are at peace with it. So death is, I was never afraid of death. I didn't know why, but now I know why I was never afraid of death. And it wasn't because of I think I'm going to go to heaven or what. I know that I know those places. I have been to hell, I've been to heaven, I've been to purgatory. So I was like, I think I can hack myself in there. I can hack it there for a while. I'm not a pussy like some people, like Uncle Omen, like the devil himself. He's a fucking pussy. I'm not. This is hell. This is worse. This is worse than hell. This place is worse than hell, if you ask me. Because it's, to me, watching this idiocy and this mediocrity and this bullshit every day, waking up to this crap every day is hell. I watch people every time trying to pretend like they're good people, trying to pretend like they're talking about the, God, and they're trying to pretend all kinds of ways, 7 ways to fucking Sunday, pretending. And I'm like, why? What is this pretentiousness for? Why do you pretend when you know that there's a being out there who's able to see through you, right through you? What's the point? He sees everything. The system sees everything. The system records everything. Some people are not stupid. They see everything. They see you. So what's the point of pretentiousness? I don't know. I don't know. And for me, I just feel like, kill me now. Just fucking kill me now and let's end this shit. These people are not worth it. I've said this so many times. I've said that so many times. I was like, Father, let's just get this done. These people are not worth it. You guys are not worth it. I'm not going to lie to you. You ain't shit. I'm not going to lie to you. I see why there were beings who were like, leave them. Just leave them. Let's move forward. Let's go to where we need to go. Just leave them. Because it's all on you, motherfuckers. I know why Father wants to save this world. But I do understand also that he's going to do his best to save everybody. But at the same time, he understands that there's a whole lot more riding on this whole thing than just this planet, right? And as much as human beings believe themselves, that's the funny thing with human beings, they believe that they are worth more than gold or something like that. I guess we've been raised to believe that, we are worth something and whatnot, but in this kind of situation, it's about not just you, but other beings as well, other planets as well, and God Himself. Why the fuck would He choose you instead of Himself? I say to you, Father, if you gotta choose yourself always. Always. If these motherfuckers needs to be left behind, leave them. This whole bloody full bullshit of you have to be, what is that word? Helping everybody and everybody be a good Christian, be a good child of God. Fuck you and your good Christian and good fucking child of God shit. I got into this fucking trouble because of that saying by the very same devil agent, number one agent. That's how she caught me. I'm in this position as I am right now, itching and scratching myself because of I helped her. Because of she played that line, that trick on me. And it worked. And now I'm fucking pissed. And now she's looking at me like, won't you help? It's like, no, bitch. No. You're gonna have to fucking help yourself. I'm gonna sit here, fold my arms, and watch. And just watch. And I'm gonna enjoy watching it. Yeah. I am. It's funny. I'm gonna watch. I'm not gonna feel sorry for anybody. I'm not going to feel sorry. It's gonna be tough. Especially if you are a stubborn fucker. Yeah, you're gonna get it. And funny thing is, no one is going to be doing it to you but yourself. It's all on you. You're in the track, on the track, in that cut, alone. You are doing everything to yourself. Your belief systems, your bullshit that you've carried all this time up until this point, it's all on you. You can't blame it on anybody. Can you ask for help? Of course you can ask for help, but not from me. All right. You can go and ask for help from the universe himself, from God himself. Me, I'm just going to tell you to shut the fuck up and get on with it already. That's what I'm going to say to you. I'm just going to do what I need to do. If I'm guided, yeah, I'll help. But I've learned my lesson. No more helping. That's what I just did right now. I hit my own hand, my own fingers to say, don't touch it. Don't touch other people's bullshit. It's not your business. My job is to fragment and defragment you. That's as far as I can. This is me doing helping. This is me helping. This is me doing my job. This is me fragmenting you and defragmenting you and helping you start waking up and looking at yourself in the mirror and asking yourself, how the fuck did you accept that fucking lie? Would you do the same thing? Let's ask you to fucking die for the rest of us and you carry that burden. Let's just, all these people who wanted Yeshua to carry their burden, let's just go back to them and say, okay, all that burden that Yeshua had carried up until this point, because your group, whoever you are, both dead and alive, have been purporting this bullshit. So let's do this. We're going to reverse this energy that you've stolen from him. And all of that shit is going to come right on top of you. And you motherfuckers are going to carry exactly what he carried, each and every fucking one of you. Not divided, but multiplied. That is whatever he's carrying, you are going to carry. All because of you were busy talking about how he's carrying your burdens. You were happy, right? You were okay. You were okay with someone else carrying your burden. You were okay. You were good enough to be carried your burden for. You, Mrs., Mister. You were okay. You were happy. Yeah. Jesus died for my fucking sins so I can continue doing bullshit and pretending like I'm a good person. I go to church. You see me. I'm wearing this church clothes and my church shoes and my church hurt. Huh? Hey. That's what it means when you're saying we're reversing the energy. Let's see how you carry it. Y'all are going to buckle under that weight. The same weight, the same thing that I'm saying that this is how Yeshua is what's going to happen to you. When all that energy that you stolen, not just from him, but from everybody else when you were doing all this comic shit and still continuing and saying that Jesus is going to forgive you and is carrying your sins. Yeah. Helping him, asking him to carry your burden instead of saying, help me help me learn how to get rid of this burden. Show me how to walk with this. Show me how to learn to like put this burden down. That's what you're supposed to be doing. But there are people, I know, there are people who are doing things and said Jesus died for them, even in the future. And then they said something about the second coming of Yeshua. Hey, he's going to come. And then I wanted to hear what they're going to say, right? And they were still talking rubbish. And this was some sort of a good, well-known priest, right? And I'm listening to him, and he was doing worse, even. He was saying worse shit there. And I was like, this second coming of Yeshua is not going to be the same, bro. You all motherfuckers are going to be carrying all that shit on your own. I'm not carrying nobody's bullshit. I'm telling you now. Fuck you. I never says you're gonna carry your own. I'm not carrying anybody's bags here. Garbage and what. They did do that to me. I didn't know what that meant and I carried it. Now I'm returning that shit. You should see how they look. They're fucking scared. And I'm like, yeah. And that's the thing. They have to get it. They have to take it. It's theirs. The universe has to balance and give me back my shit and give them back their shit. Okay? And they don't feel like they want to carry their shit. So they're just trying to prolong this as long as they can. And I'm like, this rubber band is going to snap at some stage and it's not going to be nice. And it's going to snap on their faces. It's not going to be nice. And I'm going to be sitting there and laughing. I can laugh about it. I've been walking my path, carrying all these fucking burdens. Their burdens, that is. And this world's burdens as well. I've been walking. I've been waking up every morning doing what I could with all this energy that has been stolen from me and all these burdens that have been put on me. I've been doing that. So for me, I just look at it as like I've been doing it for a while, for a long time. Yeah, I'm fucking tired of it because I just want to see motherfuckers in their fucking piss, right? That's what I want. I'm just waiting for that moment when I see them having to roll inside their, in their piss and their shit and everything after all this shit goes back to them. That's what I'm waiting for. Yeah, I'm a dark motherfucker. So what? I'm waiting for that scene. And I was like, I've been carrying this for a while. Yeah, I'm not happy that I'm waiting. And I keep saying to Father, I want payment for this. I want payment for all this time they keep extending. And it's true. That's how it works. It's not even that I have to ask for it. That's how I need to. I can only just acknowledge it, but the universe is going to have to return even the extensions that they're doing. So they're not doing themselves a favor. And they're not doing me any worse than I already am because I had learned to carry this energy. I had learned to carry this burden for a long time. And they don't realize that it's not just about me learning how to handle their curses. Father can stop this at any time. But he said to me, you're going to need to learn how to get over it. That is, get over their curses, get over your system. That is me as a defragmentation. I need to run despite the interferences that they're throwing at me. I need to learn to run. So I'm just learning my karmic lesson. Yeah, I'm pissed at it. But at the same time, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's gonna be something else whenever they have to like carry it themselves. I can run forever. They can't. They are not strong enough. They've been doing this as many as they were, and they still failed. So I don't know why their fucking brains are not working. Why they don't see that this is coming, whether or not. Whether you prolong it or not. I feel like some of them wish they could die. But that's the thing. I prayed. I was like, no one dies. No one dies. I want my energy and I want it now and I want it here in this planet. Everybody's going to have to pay for it here. No fucking going to hell for you. You're going to do hell here on this planet. We're going to see you. We're going to learn. You're going to be that poster child of this is what happens when you fuck around and you find out. That's what's going to happen. I said to Father, no one dies. None of these mofos who did this shit to me. I don't want them to die. I don't wish them death. Why would I wish them death? They're going to go and bother my brother there in hell. He can handle that here. They should be able to sit here and go through their karma here. They need to go through their karma here, pay for their debts here. No one, it's just like, I feel like some of them are wishing, like, especially my grandmother, she wishes she could die. And I just look at it, it's like, you're not going nowhere. No, no, no. You're going to be here and you're going to be paying for it. She's a program. She's going to have to learn. What are we going to do with that energy or that program when it doesn't learn its lesson? What are we supposed to do with it? We can't take them anywhere. What do we need that for? Enough of this fucking mediocrity. You can be better and you're going to be better. You're going to start vibrating as you need to be vibrating higher, and stop fucking being pussies and ask fucking questions. Real questions to the real people who are lying to you about this shit. Don't ask me about the Bible. I never said anything about you and the Bible. I never came here and sold the Bible shit to anybody. I'm not even going to talk about the Bible in that way, in the sense of, I don't know what it says. I just remember some of the things that they say there, right? But at the same time, it's like, when I woke up to the fact that it was such a big lie, right? I was like, imagine all of this up until now I feel like it's a part. I have to confirm. And I remember Father said, you're going to struggle with figuring out when they started reusing the Bible again, like when the Bible resurfaced again. And I feel like it was a modern times. And I also feel like it was also a modern kind of publisher. Not modern, not too modern. Yeah, but modern. Like new age kind of publishers who brought it back. Who brought it back through the devil, obviously. And they became big publishers. So I just need to remember who. They may have changed their names throughout up until now, but sometimes I have to be honest with you guys. I don't blame the devil so much when it comes to individuals using his tactics and say and trying to get an excuse about how they were influenced by the devil. This is why sometimes I feel like the devil himself has actually done a great job into exposing shitty kind of programs, the shittiness of people, the shittiness of programs, how they feel like they are worthy or worth, so much more than the next person. So someone else can suffer. I mean, I explain that shit to me. Can somebody explain that shit to me? How do you think that someone is okay for somebody else to suffer just so you can live well? I mean, yeah. You should see how my brother is. And I when I look at him and I look at you and I'm like, him, you, and I say him. I choose him and I choose myself. Fuck you and your fucking bullshit of Yeshua died for your sins shit. Fuck you. And this is all to all those fucking priests who've been preaching this bullshit as well. And the fucking Pope himself. Fuck him for perpetuating this bullshit. I'm sick and tired of this crap. Oh, goodness, it's just so exhausting. They know the truth. That's the weirdest part about it, is that what I think happens here is that Uncle Omen, the devil, hid Earth, right? And he refused to tell Father where he hid it. But then Father figured out later to say, I don't think your uncle even remembers where he hid it. Because when I search his memory, there's nothing. And I'm like, did he do something or not, or something like that? Father's like, mm. He also has this memory issue loss. This is one of the things that he was supposed to be working on himself for, because he forgets. And I was like, and this is why Father gave me such a powerful brain and a powerful memory of going back into time, back. That's why, because he upgraded me, because of also I needed to remember a lot of information, I needed to have a lot of big storage, bigger storage, so that I can store a lot of information. And when I need to, I can, people say they get downloads, I get uploads and downloads. That is, I'm stored, there's stuff that is stored within me. They come as part of me, and they're things that I get intuition about from the universe. And sometimes most of the stuff I'm referred to internally. I'm referred to, remember that, remember this, remember that. I'm remembering more than I'm downloading, because they were going to fiddle around with my downloads, and they have, right? But what Father did was, because of they were going to fiddle around with my downloads, he also uploaded some of my memory, so that I'm able to both download and upload and get confirmation between the two. Now, Uncle Orman forgot where he hid the world. But then this shit ran for so long that they also forgot who Elohim, God the Creator, is. They forgot that God is God. He's going to find Earth if he wants to find Earth. Yes, he was asking Uncle Orman, where's my world? What did you do with my world? Where did you hide my world? You know I'm going to find my world, right? And Uncle Omen was all busy playing games there and laughing about it, right? Thinking it's funny, right? But I get the feeling that these people got lost in the sauce of getting lost in the sauce. So much so that they felt like, ah, Elohim will never find the world anyway. We just have to keep doing this as well. So these popes, these priests just kept digging themselves in as well, forgetting what they were meant to be, what programs they were. And even though in their recreational whatever, they were priests, but perhaps the old ones were fine. Maybe the new ones, I don't know, whatever. But all I know is that they were all preaching this crap up until this point. So fuck them too. Anyway, they got comfortable, right? First, they got so lost in the sauce. Then they got fucking comfortable, right? But then the turning point is when they fucking became cocky about it. They got fucking cocky about it. Like, she will never wake up. They know about me. They knew about me. They know me. They know who I am and what I'm well, maybe not exactly what I'm about, but they knew. They have this is why they created the environment they created for me, in order for me not to wake up to the truth. Right? They must say something that they would go so far to create such a huge environment for such a one little old me, so that I feel like everything I live, I do, I dream about is kind of real. They never thought I would wake up. But these motherfuckers, what they didn't know is that I didn't sleep because of this environment. I slept because Father put me in sleep mode. And I had an alarm, many, that I was going to wake up. And I woke up first time. Easy. peasy, easy. It was time and I just woke up. And I said to Father when I was supposed to go back to sleep, I was like, Father, please, I don't want to go back to sleep. I was afraid. I was like, what if I don't wake up? He's like, don't worry, I'll wake you up. I was like, what if I don't wake up? I've been sleeping for too long. He's like, I know, but you have to. It's not going to be easy for you to walk this earth awakened when you cannot even do this. And I was like, let me try. Let me try. Let me try to walk this earth awakened. I didn't last 2 weeks. I was like, put me to sleep. Put me to sleep now before I kill these people. I just couldn't take it. I was watching these motherfuckers. I was like, no, you didn't. And I was like, Father, please, just let me sleep. I'll sleep. It's fine. Just wake me up. And he was like, yeah, you'll wake up. And then he says to me, don't forget about your alarm. I was like, okay. And then I set my alarm again back. And then he said, no, it's fine. We'll wake you up. They tried again. But this time it was harder for me to wake up. But eventually I got triggered by something that Uncle Olman used to do to me, disguised as the angel demonic healer on the ship when I was coming in. But he did it here as this woman who used to be my grandmother's caregiver. And she played the same thing that I placed as my trigger. And I said, if one day someone is going to do this for me, and when they do, I'll wake up. And it was him. Obviously, he probably reincarnated. Oh, he reincarnated. Now I remember. He reincarnated as a woman. He reincarnated as a woman. So I woke up. They woke me up. He woke me up. And they thought that they didn't think I woke up. For a long time, I ran there at the farm. They didn't realize that I was awakened. For a very long time. These people are stupid. When I say people are stupid, they would do things like overly. Their torments and their whatnots were too much. The noise were too much to the point that they also jumped to their own noise, right? Yo, they would bang something on the roof and go yo themselves, and I would be standing there and watching them. Did you hear that? And I was like, what? It's like the noise. I was like, I didn't hear anything. I wasn't going to confirm them because that's what they wanted. Oh, she's hearing things. I was like, you think I'm stupid, huh? But anyway, they got cocky. They played it so overly, their game, so in my face, so in God's face. And then they didn't think I would withstand their tortures and their torments and their curses and stuff. But, Father's always there. My spirit team were always there. Shem, they held me down. Yo, talk about a powerful spirit team. Yeah, power. They held me down. I was going through it. All kinds of shit. And they were like, you can do this. And I was like, I can't do this. They were like, you can do this. I can't do this. It's like, you can do it. You're doing it. It's like, no, I don't want to do it. They're like, continue. And then it's a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a year, 2 years, 3 years. I think I finished my 4 years, I think. 4 years in when was it? This April. My grandmother's birthday. That's when I finished 4 years. And I remember saying to my sister, this sort of shit lasts for about 3 to 5 years. I bet after 5 years I'll be fine. So I'm working on my 5th year. And already things are looking up for me, right? And I'm watching this and I'm like, I'm already a month in. Is it May? Yeah, just May. Not even April, May. So I finished my 4th year in May. So I'm working on May 8th. I'm working on my 5th year. Oh, you should see what they're doing to me. As soon as I say these things, I'm itchy. And meaning I'm as I've always seen life is that a lot of things take about 3 to 5 years to finally be like out of the woods, or to finally be like comfortable with confidence in your job. A lot of things in life take time, and 5 years is normally roughly the time it takes for you to go through some sort of learning curve and walk out of it there, learned with Leonard in a way. And here I am, and the 5th year is a little bit easy so far. Starting to look up. I don't know. I'll see in the next coming few months. But yeah. But all I'm saying is that you all think that you are. I don't know what you think you are. You know who you are. It's not everybody who does this, right? Those who've done it, they know who they are. And y'all think that you're all that, right? But the fucking thing is that you're not even fucking showing up for it, which is kind of weird. It's like, okay, somebody died for you for your sins, and you still as shitty as ever. And that shittiness is what my brother keeps having to fucking carry for you, as you keep doing your shitty stuff and lying about it, and lying about the fact that somebody else is carrying it for you. And now my brother has to keep carrying that shit for you. Y'all make me mad. I don't give a fuck how you feel about it. You know that? It's almost like it's your business. It's up to you if you want to feel some type of way about it, or if you want to go and do something about it. Okay? Nobody is here to fucking nanny you and your fucking emotions and your fucking feelings. And, oh, I'm fucking rich. I'm wealthy. You know how people respect me? Fuck you and your fucking fake respect, because I'm sure people don't respect you. You just don't know. You're just in some sort of illusion that people respect you. You don't realize that most people don't respect you. I could bet. I don't have money. I'm broke. So even if you go and sue me, whatever. And if you sue me, I'm gonna sue you back. And if I'm proven right, which I know that Father's gonna prove me right, I'm collecting. And I'm collecting first with your fucking nails. That's what I said to Father. If anybody comes and says something like, hey, I'll sue you and what, I'll be like, all right, sue me. But if I win and I'm vindicated by God Himself to prove me right, you're gonna give me all your fucking nails from your your feet and your hands. I want that. I'm gonna be collecting nails. And everything else you were also what do you call it, suing me for. Everything doubled. And your nails. I want to collect nails. I was laughing. I was like, Kylie used to collect skulls. I should collect something. Yeah, I am. I'm gonna make necklaces with it. Of course I am. What do you think? I'm not joking. I'm serious. You think I'm joking? If you think I'm joking, you'll see how serious I am when that shit happens. I'll find a way to collect those nails. I'm gonna collect something. Mm-hmm. So, stop talking shit about my brother, please. Okay? In any way, you must know that you owe him, and that energy is going to be reversed to him and some more, because it's with interest, right? And you must also say, ask for not forgiveness. I don't know, brother, you tell them. I don't know if they need to be feeling sorry, but it's done. What's done is done. I don't believe in sorries, to be honest. If you did something, you did something, right? What's the point of sorries? I'm sorry. I Don't be sorry. Do something about it. How? Yeah, I feel like he's saying, yeah, they must do something about it. Don't ever put anybody else in the situation again. Someone dying for your sins. What the heck is that? Are you fucking crazy? Hey, these people. Ooh. Yeah, Father, your children. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And I believe that there are some other people who don't believe in that and they never wanted to say shit like this because of they understood how energy works, how karma works, how lying about such a thing is actually a very detrimental to you in the long run because you're going to have to pay that energy. This is why I say they got cocky. They never thought that Yeshua's spirit will come and learn that lesson here and reverse the energy because that's essentially what I'm doing here. I'm learning for my spiritualness. Me learning for my spirit, I'm learning from my ancestors as well. And they never thought that Yeshua would be awakened in that way, you know. I guess they were looking for the same picture. I remember Father looking, showing me Yeshua and saying, "It's you." I'm like, "That's not me." Well, not Yeshua, Yeshua, not the way I know him, not the way he looks. It doesn't look like the Jesus of your. But Father drew something like that. I was like, "It's him." I was like, "No, it's you." He's like, "It's you." I'm like, "No, that's not me." And he's like, "It is you." I'm like, "It can't be me. That's a man, and I'm a woman." And okay, he looks like that, and I look like me. That's what I said. They're laughing at the time. My brothers and my father and my brothers and sisters are laughing at me, and I'm like, but I understood now when I'm waking up and I'm learning my karmic lesson that what he meant was that it is a version of me before me. That is Yeshua's version. That Yeshua coming through my spirit's version of me. That is before, right? And I can't wait for my brother to get his glory back, his true glory back. I cannot wait for that. I feel like he's smiling. Does he have dimples? I never noticed that he has dimples. Why do I feel like he has dimples? Why would he have dimples? He's dimply, a little bit dimply. But I feel like Father also has a little bit of that. It's not a dimple, it's. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Sorry. My sister does have that as well. My sister. My other sister who's here with me on earth. I wonder if she will ever listen to my recordings and remember him and wake up as well. Yeah, you know who you are. We met. We've been together before. You're going to remember. But anyway, I must do a message for her. Okay. She also woke me up in a nice way. In a way, she triggered some waking up for me. I'm gonna I'm gonna, I'm gonna do a recording for her as well. I needed to put it down. Is she ready for it this time? Will she be ready for it this time? She was. She was tried to be awakened before me. She was sent here to wake me up. She was supposed to do some parts of this mission with some parts of this mission was actually hers. I think she was gonna do the teaching part. Yeah, I think she was gonna do the she's good at that. I think she was gonna do that. Or something like that. Which is the one I refused. I was like, no, I'm not teaching. Until I was convinced that I have to. But I guess I will do this. But I'm hearing that she's gonna walk her own path with her own like kind of like teaching as well. Okay. I kind of miss her. Father, you must have been happy seeing us together. Ah, that's a small thing. Anyway, um, is there anything else, Father, regarding my brother Yeshua? All right. So they're giving me a picture of his house. His house in heaven is the smallest. He lives in the divine being kind of an area of spiritual world. However, his house is the smallest, like very small, because these beings are like divine beings, and they have built this um, mansions. They live like kings and whatever. That's what you are supposed to. That's why you're here. You're supposed to be working on yourself so that you can also vibrate high enough to have enough energy for you to be able to go and achieve such things as well in the 5D, not necessarily in the spiritual world, but in the 5D that is coming for this planet as well at some stage. And other planets are already on the 5D. But my brother's house is the smallest. I didn't even notice it until I asked. I was like, so where's brother Yeshua's house? And they're like, you're standing right next to it. I was like, no. They're like, yeah. I was like, why is it so? Then my brother got angry a little bit. Like, it's like, yeah, and Yeshua's house should be the biggest around this place. But mother gave him a look. Like, don't go there with destiny, because he wasn't supposed to give me. They were trying very hard. I think part of not telling me a lot of things was also not to give me a perception, so that I don't come with perceptions of the spiritual world here, and I develop those perceptions about earth and in human beings myself. And wow, what a perception that is that I had to develop about you people. I actually feel like mother and father understand you better. For me, it's gonna take some time for me to actually finally be in a point where I will be like, you know what, humanity, yeah, I can see. Right now, I just think you're all shitty people. And yeah, you can ask that question. It's like, who the heck do you think you are to judge us like that? Well, I'm destiny, motherfuckers. I'm destiny. And it's not just me who's going to look at you and judge you in that way. Everyone else has been doing it because you all are shitty people. Seriously. It's not about even judging you. It's more like we don't understand. I don't understand. I do not understand. I cannot wrap my head around how humanity works. Right? And I don't have to. You don't have to I'm not putting you on some scale of something like that. I'm just saying I think you can do better. Honestly, you can do better. You can vibrate better. That's what I think. If you don't think so, well, stay there with your lazy fucking ass and watch us move forward. That's it. I'm not here to fucking beg you. Nobody's here to fucking beg you or to fucking convince you to fucking cater to your fucking uh low vibrational, I'm a goody tissue kind of being. All right. Like, look, I'm also like some sort of a comic person whenever I get to be comic, but at least I'm able to say I'm getting comic here. At least I'm able to look at myself and be like, you know what, Destiny, you're having a comic moment right there. At least I do. I was telling Father that I need to deal with something today, just today. It's like, Father, I need to deal with that one, and I need to give myself time to deal with it. And it happens. Nobody's asking you to be perfect. I'm just asking you to be better. We're asking you to be better, to vibrate better. No one said anything about perfection. You come back for perfection some other time, but just vibrate better and stop your bullshit. You are really a bullshitter and a bullshitty person and a shitty person. Accept that and let all of us move on. to the next point, which is now that we've accepted ourselves. But what do they say? The first step is to accept that you have a problem. The second step is to do what? That one. The next step. Yeah, we do that. I think a psychologist will tell you what it is, but you have to accept that you've been a kind of like a bitch about thinking about the fact that somebody else is okay to die for you like that. I mean, sure, yeah. Imagine they're saying destiny died for our sins. I'll fucking come back here and fuck you. You say that shit about me, ne? Destiny. Well, you can say destiny cast because that's the truth. I would. But other than that, if you go and lie about me, about shit that I didn't do, and you steal my energy like that, I'm not just gonna retrieve a little. I'm gonna alchemize that shit while I'm still there in the spiritual world, right? Yeah. You'll ask yourself, it's like, you know what, I'm trying to steal and siphon from this person. I'll do whatever it takes there. I don't know what I'll do, but I'll find a way. Father will help me find a way. So yeah, stop telling lies about my brother. Stop believing lies and stop rehashing those lies, right? And understand the impact of it on a man, on my brother, on Yeshua, and also understand the impact on you. My brother can carry it as much as it's heavy and he needs his time off at some stage. But when it comes back to you, you're not going to be able to carry it. You're going to know exactly what Yeshua was feeling for on your behalf, right? So what I'm trying to say is you're going to carry that burden anyway. It's going to come back to you. It's yours. Who the fuck do you think should be carrying it? It's yours anyway. But what I'm saying is you keeping that lie going, right? It's only going to hurt you in the long run. Because I'm learning that that is a lie and that was never supposed to be happening. And I'm defragmentation. That is, I'm taking shit that ain't yours and I'm putting it back to where it belongs. I'm unpacking your bloody fucking blocks. All of your motherfuckers who've been saying this shit. And whatever energy that I find there that is not yours, I'm returning it back to my brother and whoever else you stole from. That's what I'm doing. This session, as I'm doing this, is exactly what I'm doing. It's done. Be like, yo, whoa, 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 whoa. It's like, motherfucker, this game was lost before it began. I'm destiny. I've already happened. I'm just walking my path. I've already happened. I've seen the end. The destination has already been achieved. We're just walking. You're just experiencing it with me. I'm experiencing it and you're experiencing it with me. And Father's experiencing me, walking it and Mother. And they told me, they said something like, even though they knew what was going to happen, it's still nice and amazing to see me walk the path. It's like they knew, they planned it, right? Yeah, everything is planned. What did you think? They planned this path and it still amazes. It's still amazing, not amazes, but amazing and wonderful to watch it happen and watch me do this. So, yeah, it is like that. Somebody was telling me that I need to buy a mic. I need to buy a mic so that I don't record all these other things. I'm gonna have to get a mic, and because sometimes I go up, sometimes I go low. When I'm low, I'm just talking. I'm just my light self, and then when I'm cussing out, I'm high, and I'm my dark self. Well, you're gonna have to take me as I am. I don't think I can do my job without that. Father was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to switch off that kind of kindness in you. What is it? Is it kindness? What did you switch off? My being kindness. You switched off. My father switched off something that makes me curse a lot. Uh, my feeling kind and sorry and all of that. It's still there. It's just that um, it's not as bad. I think. I don't know, but he switched off something in me because of I couldn't finish my job. I kept feeling sorry for all of you. It's like, oh, but they're trying. But now I'm like, no, you're not trying. You should do better. Ish. I want to, I do listen to my own recordings now, and when I listen to them, I swear I don't sound like me. When I listen to them, I feel like I am that person as well. I have to re-listen to them, but I also feel like I'm the one person. I'm in your shoes. To be honest, I am in your shoes. I feel like I'm being scolded as well. It's like, yeah, yeah, I need to you know. It's like I'm also going through exactly what it is. I feel this. I feel like how some people are going to feel when they listen to these recordings because I hear destiny. I don't hear my other self in my normal self when I'm not going into my meditation session. So whenever I re-listen to these recordings, I feel like, oh my goodness, she's telling the truth. Sometimes I'm like, yeah. Sometimes I would say something and I would be like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's as if like I'm hearing it for the first time. It's like, yeah, ish, yeah, ish. And then I have to remind myself, it's like, it's you who's talking. It's kind of weird. It's not like I don't know. I do know. But when I listen to this, I guess, let me put it this way. When I started these recordings, I was a practicing. I was practicing for my preacher kind of mode when Father said, the next step will be for you to preach. And I was like, I cannot do that. So I started this with the intention to learn how to talk, and start refining my way of talking and find my style as well. That's the one reason. Then that's the main reason why I started it. Because I was afraid, not afraid, like conscious about it. I was like, I can't do this. Plus, I was listening to this Father was sending me these videos of people who were doing what I would have to be doing to see what it was like that they were talking and they were talking crap. And I was like, okay, Father, I'm convinced I have to do this. But then I tried to do it the same way. And I said, you know what, for now, I'm just going to do it. Actually started setting up like a video kind of a thing. But in an environment that I'm in, I'm not able to be open about these things because I'm with the comics, right? They're not gonna listen to me do or watch me do this. So I have to do this when I'm in my private space and I don't have like those kind of setups yet. I'm planning to get those, but it's also a kind of I'm not in the right space. When I get to the right space, which is probably very soon, I'll get everything set up like the way it needs to be. And I was gonna do a recording of my face. I mean, not my face, yeah, but not a faceless kind of recording. But I was like, okay, in the meantime, because I couldn't set up, I do have these tripods and whatnots and the cameras, but not with me. I've left them behind. So I'm gonna have to get new sets. So I was like, and when I was coming here, I was like, do I take this camera sets? Do I take my tripods? And then I was like, nah, I don't want anything that has anything to do with this place. So I left them there and I had planned to buy a new camera, which I'm actually shopping for right now. And and all these other setups that I need to do. So I was going to record with a, but I kind of like this way. I don't know why. I feel like it's interesting to, for it would be like nice for people not to know, but also to wonder. And when they see me, they're gonna be like, "Heck no, it can't be." It's gonna be, or some people are gonna be like, "Yeah, it could be." Some people will be, I know that there are going to be a lot of people, especially it was mostly tarot readers, and not just mostly tarot readers, some psychic kind of person. I went through that phase who are going to refuse to believe. They were talking about me, but when they are supposed to, when they see me, right, they're gonna refuse. They're gonna say, heck no, it cannot be this person. Which was funny. Father's like, oh, this is the way we're going to sift these people to see which ones are real and which ones are not. Because when they see you, they're not gonna believe it. They have this vision, this idea about me. You know, some think I'm white, some think I'm black, some think I'm Asian, I think, or whatever. Some don't even think like that. But I do feel like a lot of people might think based on themselves, like based on them, and then they would like kind of like, I'm everybody, to be honest. Yeah, I could be anyone. It's funny though. So when I listen to myself as well, I just feel like, yo, I've been shitty myself as well. I tell myself those things as well. It's like, yeah, yeah, I get it, I get it. Um, I feel like I'm in your space as well, as in like I'm on the other end of the recording. I'm listening to it as if like I'm on the other end of the recording. But then also, destiny will come up as well when I'm listening to it. Either I'm gonna get a vision again of something, maybe something will be said in there, and then I'll get a vision of something else. It will remind me of something else. This is why I re-listen to them. Or I would feel like I don't understand what I'm saying or what she's saying there. I need that clarity there. And I'll start meditating on it right there and there. And then Father will start keeping going, and then I'll have to press record sometime. So it also helps me to kind of like go back and clarify some of my understanding. Because I'm also learning. I'm still learning. You know, some things are not like, it's my meditation session in terms of what I remember, what I understand, what I hear, uh, my experiences in life, my experiences in the spiritual world, and um, yeah. But yeah, we're talking about Yeshua. So, what is there anything else, Father, about Yeshua, my brother? He's a nice man. You all know him. He's a nice man. But you guys are using so much of his energy that he can't even build a proper house. It's not nice. It's bad. It's like, picture the scene. Like the mansions, big mansions, right? And he has this, what do you call it? Real estate, that this piece of land, right? And you think, oh, maybe it's a rugby field or whatever field, like a park or something. You think that. But then there in the middle of that park, there's like a little bit of a building there. And I'm like, where's my brother's house? And they're like, there. It's, you're standing right. Actually, we were standing right next to it. It's like, no, it can't be. They say, yeah, it is. It is. That's how small it is. That's how much energy you left him. That's how much energy you left for him to build. Because all his energy is being tied to this world, with your motherfuckers using it up like what you're doing right now. And the man can't even enjoy himself and live his life as a divine being, because he's tied to you. If he wasn't as big as he is, this is what I understand, that if he wasn't as a big energy as he is, he would have ended up in purgatory. Do you have any idea what that means? And that's what I understand was Uncle Oman's intention. He didn't think Yeshua would be big enough, too big for to carry that energy. That is the world's energy. All your crappy fucking karmic energy. He didn't think he would be big enough to carry that energy. So he would have no energy to be able to handle the light of uh, the 5D world, and then therefore he's gonna have to live in some sort of a shadow kind of an environment when he gets to the spiritual world. That would have been purgatory. He wanted him to end up in purgatory. And fuck him too for that shit. That shit ain't funny. That's the worst place you can ever end up in. It's almost like purgatory is for people who are like not really bad programs, but they did something. Most of them did something that they didn't realize was going to be bad for them. And some of them were tricked into tying up their energies into things that are on earth. So they are bound by their energies are bound to some earth object or some whatever. With Yeshua, his energy is bound to a belief, a lie, that is a big lie. Same as Lucifer. He's also his energy. He's losing energy. At least he lives in the hell side of the spiritual world. Um, but still, it's like he's also robbed of energy because of Uncle Oldman has perpetuated this lie, this huge lie about him, that he's the one who's messing up the world. He's the one who's making people do all these bad things, and well, else it's actually him. So he still energies from two men. I was laughing yesterday when I was supposed to go to bed to sleep, and I was like, Uncle Oldman, I was like, the day I meet that guy, the day I see that guy again, I'm gonna suck him. I'm gonna give him like one sucker punch. Like. But then I was like, I was like, okay, fine, I have to wait in line. And Father's like, don't worry about him. I'll take care of him. And I was like, I guess I have to wait in line then. It's you first. Then I think the second person is gonna be Lucifer, who wants a piece of him, and then Yeshua. Or maybe my father, then mother, or it could be between the two of them. One of them is number one. Then it's Lucifer or Yeshua first. Lucifer. And I got the feeling that it wasn't just me as well. Like some other family members also had some issues with him. And I was like, I guess I have to wait in line then. I thought I was the only one he went that hard with, but obviously I understand my two brothers' issues, right? But then when you look at it, what he did with father as well, stealing this earth planet and hiding it and making his beings behave like little devils. Yeah, that's what you guys are doing sometimes. And you can see that he owes a lot of energy. The man owes a lot of energy. And he's taking you down with him because of what he's doing. He's transferring that kind of behavior to you guys by lies and all this deceit that he's doing. And you guys are just lapping it up and repeating that shit, right? And continuing to do those low vibrational shit that is um, informed by those lies as well, or the foundation is based on those lies, and therefore you're going to owe that kind of energy as well, the same one that he's owing. You're lying about Yeshua. You're lying. I didn't even think about this. They're also lying about Lucifer. Shit. Ooh, You're also lying about my brother Lucifer. But I get the feeling, yeah, you're lying about him. Why don't I have I don't think I have a. I should talk about Lucifer as well. my experience with Lucifer, so that you kind of like know them and have like a feel for them and understand that some of these things that they're telling you are half truths sometimes. Not even half truths. Some part of it is the truth, and then the rest of it is lies on lies, 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 lies. That's how the devil works. So my brother's having this small home, smaller than everybody else. Yet he's the most biggest energy, I believe. But he cannot even spend that energy for himself because you guys are using it here. You're stealing energy from him. And that's not fair. That's not fair. You are not that good. Please sit down. Okay? You're not that kind of energy. You're not that kind of a nice person either. The fact that you think somebody else is okay to die for you, you're a bitch person. You're a fucked up person. And I don't know why I say this because I keep picturing some person in my head. And I like her, right? But I feel like she's misguided and she might not take this the right way. But if she's a good energy, I feel like I'm seeing her for a reason. And if she's a good energy, she not a good energy, but if she is really good about what she's saying, she'll change her ways immediately and understand that she has to accept that about herself. It's not just her, it's people like her. She's a representation of who I'm talking about. Um, but yeah, you're not that great, Shem. Mm-mm. Misguided. I don't think so. It is misguidedness, but let's drop the misguidedness and start and stop blaming others and just really look at ourselves. It's like, even if we were misguided, how can we even believe something like this? Seriously. Even if you're misguided, how can you believe something like this? How can you be okay? Imagine if they said, your child died for your sins, and your child is in stuck in purgatory, and you are continuing to live your wonderful life, your blessed sort of life, while you're siphoning energy from your child. And this is why your child has to end up in purgatory because they can afford to move on a more lighter kind of environment in the spirit world. And there are people like that. I'm getting that there are people who are doing that. Yeah, I'm getting that there are people who are doing that. So I thought that was the worst example that I could give. Apparently, there are already people who have already done something like that. So I don't know. This is why I'm saying y'all are not that kind of great. No ways. You're not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend and tell you like your lies. And I'm not the authority of judging you and whatnot. I'm not trying to judge you. I'm telling you how I see it. If you don't like it, it's your problem. All I'm seeing is that we have a lot of people who think so highly of themselves that they would, if they could give them a knife and say, uh, the choice is between you and him, right? You go and stab, put this knife in his back, right? Or otherwise, it's you. You'll see how these people are going to stab that person. That's basically that. That's exactly what Uncle Omen did. It's either him or it's you. And you guys said, no, it's fine. Let's just keep stabbing at him. That's what you're doing. You're backstabbing the man who came here to help release you from bondage of this environment as was created by fragmentation function. That is my uncle, the devil, and my imposter goddess system. You have um, essentially used that to backstab him. I've been backstabbed as well. Uh-huh. And I'm saying this, if y'all going to lie about me, now I'm awakened. I already know how you're stealing my energy or how you steal energy. So I'm gonna be learning when I'm there. In the spiritual world, or I don't know if I'm going to the spiritual world, Father. I don't know why I don't even want to talk about it. I don't want to discuss this topic because you told me that I'm coming back home. This whole thing of 5D here and whatnot, I'm not sticking around this place. This is a shitty place. But anyway, I don't know. We'll talk about that some other time. But what I'm saying is, it's not fair. It's not fair that you should live in some nice, beautiful home, enjoying the blessings on someone else's back. When that person is over there in the spiritual world, not even where, in a 5 fucking D environment. That is a very high vibrational environment, but still struggling because of a bunch of your motherfuckers, not a bunch, a whole lot of you motherfuckers are too lazy to carry your own fucking burdens and you want somebody else to carry your burdens for you. Aye, man. Grow up, man. Seriously. My brother has to live in a smaller home and she has to every once in a while come to the cleansing pool so that he can cleanse himself of this burdens and this rubbish that you guys, this karmic energies that you guys are perpetuating here on this planet, so that he can cleanse himself and feel better and at least act normal for a little. He was so excited when I was coming here. He didn't like the idea at first. Nobody did, except father as well, but they didn't like the idea, but eventually they had, it's not that they didn't have a choice, but yeah, maybe they, not that they didn't have a choice. Father, I was wanting to do it, and I was the only one who, my, my is it, what is it? My simulation finally managed to um, get through and survive. And I remember, as much as there was not at first, there wasn't, I get the feeling father spoke to them to tell them to stop moping. They're gonna make me kind of like feel like this is a bad decision. So they were genuinely excited, not excited, but like very supportive towards the end. And I remember Yeshua coming in, getting involved with my preparation and all of that. You know, why do I feel like he said something to me? I think he said, "Oh, and destiny." And I looked at him and was like, "You're gonna be great," something like that. That's what she said. He said to me, "You're gonna be great." And I was like, "Thank you." But they were not so eager at first. Obviously, they have to swallow a lot of um, bullshit that they had to watch me go through. I wouldn't have watched this. I don't know. But yeah, there's a whole lot of programs out there who are going through a lot. And it's not necessary. And yet, there's also a whole lot of programs out there who are bullshitting and they're just keeping up with the bullshit. There's like a couple of different things, right? Different categories of us There are people who are going through it and they just have to grin and bear it. And then there are people who are having to pretend to be not going through it. But then there are people who are getting by on riding on other people's energies as well. There are people who want to act like they don't know that what they're doing is wrong. Uh, but the fact that you have a brain, that's what God gave you, a brain for you to think. You're not mentally whatever, right? So what made you go so far with thinking such a bullshit thing? We can perhaps we can excuse someone who has a mental issue, but what about you who doesn't have a mental issue and still putting this bullshit? How do you explain yourself? The BS is real. But that shit is gonna come to an end. And yeah, we'll see you on the other side. I don't know what the other side is, but once you awakened and remember who you are and stop fucking around and and live your best self. Yeah. Is there anything else, Spirit? Is there anything else about my brother Yeshua? To be honest, I keep saying this. I never thought I would be able to say anything about this topic as well. I was like, what's there to say? I guess Spirit has a lot to say. It's not about me. Whenever I start these sessions, I'm always thinking, what am I going to say about this? Let me just go in and then I'll see what comes out. And a lot comes out. And then I have to remember that it's not me per se. I'm not the only one. And I might be the mouthpiece, but Spirit is is talking about a lot of things here. And as I talk, I mean, I picture my father, I picture Yeshua, I picture my ancestors, I picture everyone who's in there who comes through. So it's not just me. So everybody has their own piece of information that they have to give me. Is there anything else, Spirit, that I'm forgetting about, brother? I cannot wait to experience him without that burden. I feel like he's got too much energy when he's not in that burdensome kind of no wonder I get the cards burden. It's our spiritual uh, thing, I guess. We always carrying some other people's burdens as defragmentation. I'm carrying burdens right now. Hey, I'm leaving these burdens, right? I'm gonna take those bloody fucking 10 of wands sticks, right? And I'm gonna stick it up everyone else's, you know what? I'm gonna break them into little pieces. There'll be enough. You know how Yeshua got fed everybody with just one bread and one. How many fishes were there? I don't remember in your Bible. I wonder if that story is true. Why am I going there? Is that story true? It's true. But I think someone also debunked it. Like, it wasn't like, oh, how many braids were there? Two, three braids and something like that. I don't remember that story. But apparently these braids were big and the fishes were big as well. So you could feed a lot of people. He made it go around. It was also symbolic as sharing a meal. All right. Why am I getting? I'm getting that there were other food there. They did have more food. That was just there. It's like a symbolic thing. It's like in the olden days, even now, there's still some traditions who like to feed each other, you know? That kind of a symbolic feed me, like a piece of cake. I think Indians would do it with on your birthday with a cake, right? I've seen them do something like that with a cake and feed each other. One piece of cake going around, something like that. I feel like it's that. And they were like on the side, like proper food, like proper. And that's what it was written as. But the interpretation of it went south. Of course. They still ate after that symbolic moment. They were having it's like having a moment before the, I, it's almost like, I don't know what to call it, but it's like him feeding them. It's like, I don't know, what is it like? It's like what? You're sharing what? It was, it was just like a symbolic of sharing and togetherness. There were other fishes there. Apparently, I don't know why. I have a picture, I have a drawing in my head of my brother doing something like that. There were fishes. He was said they were saying that he was saving other fishes, right? But in that drawing, there's more fishes as well. I see more fishes, and I feel like I asked them. I think Father shared. Oh goodness, Father wanted me to do this. Father shared me the picture or the drawing of what they drew actually in there. The original drawing. There were more. There were a picture of more fishes in the bucket. They used to put them in some sort of barrels or something like that. It had like fallen, and fish was even like coming out of that barrel a lot. So there were more fishes in there. It's just the first past the starting of the meal of the feast. They did the symbolic thing of him serving or him giving them a little piece of fish and a little piece of bread, something like that. But there was more food. I, I, and I'm getting the feeling that's how that person wrote it, but it was twisted. Interpretation of it twisted it to make it seem like it was a something that it was not, when it was just them having like a, there's this word, man, like togetherness. I don't know what to call it. There's a word for it. Something like that. Yeah, well, I'm gonna do the same thing with the sticks. Father, how can you remind me of something like this with something so horrible that I'm trying to do here? How can you trigger my memory with something like this? Because I was saying I'm gonna take those sticks and break them piece by piece, and shove them somewhere from those 10 of ones. That's what I was saying, right? You have to just take me as I am. That's what I was saying. Mm. Because I mean, I'm not gonna be carrying these burdens. They are your burdens. You carry your own effing burdens. I'm tired of carrying burdens. I'm so fucking tired. Hey, I can't, brother. I don't know how you did it, but me, I'm not going to agree. I don't even like carrying plastic bags, like from shopping. I hate that. I really hate that. The reason why I bought my first car, it was because I couldn't use public transport and carry the bags. I I found that it was unnecessary burden on me, on my body, to carry 5, 10 bags of grocery bags. Aye, five on this side and five on that side. And I'm not like such a big person, right? I'm short as well, and I'm trying to do this, and I'm like, no, and I have to walk, put them down, walk again a little bit, put them down, walk, put them down. By the time I get home, my feet are tired, my back is tired, my wrists are tired, my fingers are, they have those straps off. I'm just tired. And I was like, you know what? I don't like the idea of owning a car, but I think I'm gonna buy a car. At least I just have to take them from the boot to the house. That's the reason why I bought a car. Oh, I bought a car for that reason also. Rain. I rain sometimes. And yeah. But other than that, I don't mind. I didn't mind not having a car. So I don't like carrying bags. I hate burdens. I can't. I was not made for that shit. Mm-mm-mm. I asked Father when he was helping me choose a house. And I was like, who's gonna clean this house? And he's like, don't worry about it. And I'm like, I hope I'm not the one who's gonna have to clean it, right? Because I was thinking to myself, I it's gonna be a burden now. I'm gonna have to carry the burden of cleaning this house. No ways. This is why I like me a smallish house. I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. As long as it's nice and cozy and pretty and smells nice, I'm happy. I don't like to be carrying burdens. Yeah. And it's the funniest thing that those of us who don't like carrying burdens, I get the feeling my brother doesn't like it as well, end up having to carry burdens. But no, we are going to return all the burdens to the owners. And you all should enjoy it. The same way that you were expecting somebody else to be okay with the fact that you would want him to carry your burdens, you all should enjoy that shit as well. Anyway, anything else? I get the feeling this is a long recording as well. I'm worse these days. I swear. It's too much, man. It's like I should be doing one recording or two recordings in two different recordings, and then I do two recordings in one. It's too much. It's actually one recording. Okay. Is there anything else? I don't hear anything else except for what I already spoke about with regarding to the fact but that's a different recording. I guess Father wanted to discuss about him and the debt that needs to be paid back, and also what that is actually creating for him, what burden that is creating for him, that debt, and that people need to know that karma is going to have to be applied and reverse all the debt that they have created against him. So, yeah, it is what it is. 2222. Wow. A good time to end this recording. Thank you, Spirit.